A Flamethrower on the Roof, an essay on the radical act of supporting women's safety by Jeff B. White. Content warning, a general lack of concern over the small feelings of tiny men. Welcome to this extra edition of Find Your Colors. I am Jeff B. White, and I am the author of the Shards of Color Trilogy. Today's going to be a little different. Normally, it is through this Substack publication and Spotify podcast that I provide insights on my books as I prepare them for publishing. I share chapters along with breakdowns explaining how my work has been translated directly from my own life experiences and how the psychological concepts within the stories can be applied to our lives for growth and healing. However, today I'm going to step out of that topic for a moment because there's something that I cannot go forward without addressing. So this post, which is outside of my normal schedule, will not have anything to do with my work. And that is because this topic is honestly more important. The sobering truth. Find Your Colors is quickly approaching the milestone of 30 subscribers, and I'm truly grateful for every one of you who has joined this moment because it has provided a level of validation for my work that I did not know I needed. As this space continues to grow, I'm finding myself thinking about the environment that I want to create here. And earlier this week, I restacked a note made by another writer. The interaction that followed is something that has stayed with me, and I want to bring attention to that today. The author of that post thanked me afterwards for being open-minded on an issue that she and many other women face every day. Her gratitude stemmed from a belief that I expressed about something she had faced here on Substack. She had been threatened with rape and murder for discussing the topic of feminism and women's rights publicly, and I stated that women should never face threats or harassment for speaking their truth. Her gratitude was sincere and moving, but it also provided a sobering moment of clarity. I find it to be an utterly disheartening realization that the support for basic human safety is now viewed as a mark of open-mindedness in online spaces. And that fact highlights the level of hostility that women face in the digital realm today. And while we do not often have control over what takes place when we are online, there is somewhere that I personally do have control. I can control what happens, what is said, and what is shared within the confines of Find Your Colors. So when it comes to my specific corner of the internet, things will be different. This will be a safe space. And allow me to clarify that term. I found that some people find that term confusing because they equate safe spaces with weakness, and they couldn't be more wrong. When we offer safety to each other, we offer a collective strength, and we offer an empowered force through allyship. The active ally. Allyship is not about performative behaviors. Allyship is about showing up and speaking up in the right moments. Being a man and a feminist means more than just agreeing with the right ideas. Our job is to listen to women when they tell us what is broken and acknowledge them through action when they tell us how to fix it. We do not do this by overpowering their voices or invalidating their experiences. Instead, we do this by being quiet in their spaces and allowing their words to permeate what we do. We do this by speaking up when we are in male-only spaces, and we do this by using whatever platform or positions we might have to further the call for safety and respect for women in all areas. For example, we do this on the street when we see men catcalling women. As a gay man, I have found myself confronting these moments head-on. On more than one occasion, when seeing a man catcalling a woman and then immediately threatening to kill her when she ignores him, I've been known to respond, and I begin catcalling the man, and I offer him a chance to come home and be my bottom for the night. They always say no. They always seem so offended. And every single time this has happened, they express immediate disgust. They say that they're not into dudes, so I need to learn how to show respect. And I always reply by telling them that women are not into random guys on the sidewalk who are just trying to get their dick wet, and that they lose the right to demand respect when they start threatening to kill people who reject them sexually. They always threaten to beat me up, so I very loudly explain that I have years of homosexual rage inside of me that I'm just dying to let out, and that if they want to take the chance on getting beat down by a gay guy, they can, but when they lose, I will fuck them after. They always seem to back down from that. Now, obviously, I do not recommend this as it could result in any number of dangerous outcomes, but it always illustrates a number of points in that When their own behavior is directed back towards them, they find it to be disgusting, often having a violent reaction when they are suddenly treated the same way that they treat women. And from my perspective, it shows me that the majority of men only fit that word from the biological definition of it. Colors of safety. In closing, and getting back to the space that I'm trying to create here, this is a space where the foundation is built on respect and the shelter provided offers safety. But on the roof, there's a flamethrower ready to burn down the patriarchy and the tiny men who hold it up. We are here to grow, learn, and evolve so that we can become the best versions of ourselves. Those best versions must also be those who do not cower in the face of the impotent and do not offer meekness when met with hatred. Because to do so goes against every single thing that my work stands for and everything that I stand for. This space is about finding your inner colors and shining your light unapologetically. And there is no set of colors more beautiful and no light brighter than that of the flames we ignite when we set the old systems ablaze and burn them away. Let's discuss. I'm so interested to hear from my readers on this topic. So, to the women, if you don't mind sharing, what are some ways that the men who do care can become stronger allies in your struggle for equitable treatment? To the men, your opinion on this matters too. So if you don't mind speaking up. Actually, no, I'm joking. Our opinions on this do not matter. So just be quiet for once, Kevin. Listen to the women and let them tell us what needs to be done. Then do it. What's next? Next week, we will be back to the regularly scheduled program where I will be providing a further breakdown on the next chapter of Blushborn. I will be sharing the text of Chapter 8, Colorless, where Jethrin will be taken to stand trial and face the architects of the Great Order, as well as the uncrowned king himself. In the breakdown, we will be discussing how the people in power are so often disconnected from those who they are meant to represent, as well as how terrifying it is when absurdly incompetent people are the ones who rule over us. Join the moment. Find Your Colors is a reader-supported publication and a listener-supported podcast. This is a moment and a movement for those who have been called too different, who have been told that they are too loud, and who have been made to feel as if they are too much, so they are afraid of taking up space that is too big. If what you have found here speaks to you in some way, please feel free to join the conversation on Substack and consider becoming a free or paid subscriber at www.findyourcolors.substack.com. And also look for us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube Podcasts, where I invite you to follow the show and to provide a rating. You can also leave comments there on your favorite episodes to get the conversation going. As well, you can share this with your friends if you think you know someone who might benefit from the work that I'm doing here with Find Your Colors. It is literally free, and it takes less than a minute to do any and or all of the things listed above. Doing these things shows that you support what I'm doing and that you care, and it helps me to be able to achieve my goal of building something that is substantial because it matters. Thanks again. Thank you again to the 28 people who have subscribed to this Substack so far. It's been less than a month since I joined, and I'm already well ahead of expectations, and I just did not know that this experience was going to be so meaningful. Bye for now. So, as always, if you read this all the way to the end, or if you listened all the way through, you're absolutely my hero. And so I thank you for allowing me the time out of your day and the space in your brain to share my story and my point of view, while together we build the new world on the foundation of the ashes that remain after we burn the old one down.